everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Holochronicles Chapter 9. I am the DM of this series, Odin. I typically play Dahlia on the other series, the Far and Wide campaign. But tonight we are playing the Star Wars D&D. And real quick, we're going to go through everyone in order. And I believe that is, without looking, I'm going to guess Zim?
That would be me, if we're going from left to right.
Zimbridge, Tindy Rykon?
So close.
It's Zim, Tindy, Ridge, and Rykon, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. My name is Jeff, and I'll be playing the role of Bounty Hunter Zim to Zim. And because of a wager AJ and I made behind the scenes, and the Buffalo Bills lost their game last night, I will be subscribing and gifting a sub to this channel, which you should too.
Yeah. Because
I'm gonna say I was really upset when they lost.
I'm less upset that they lost, and I'm more upset that people are saying Taylor Swift won. I'm pissed at that.
I feel like that would piss anyone off.
Hi, I'm Casey. I'm going to be playing Mediator Tindy. When I'm not playing with these lovely humans, I'm talking with other awesome GMs on the joy of GMing, or running games of Doctor Who with Anywhere But Now. You can also come find me to play spooky games of Curse of Strahd on startplaying.games. Have a great day.
Hello, I am the one known as Bridge. This shall be Bridge's new accent. No.
Someone turn him off and back on again.
God damn it! What happened to his voice module?
Hold on, we got him just said on neutral Spanish.
See.
I have a paperclip we can use to just poke that tiny pinhole.
Oh no. You just hear the clanking of him closing a flap. Do not poke me. In this game, I am Bridge. In the normal game, I am Yordrick the Turtle Warlock, who has Token of Lantern now. Ooh, look at spectacular design.
Right.
Rykon
You
says
take the
so.
compliment, darn you!
It's alright.
He will start beating you. And I mean Broden will start beating you.
Wait. But yes, in this game I am Bridge, the astromech and pilot of our lovely ship, the Mace.
Which is awesome.
Yes. In our smaller attempt at Advanced 5e, I was Bugman, so you can see that in previous game.
He almost died.
I did.
I tried my best.
I was. But I'm not the healer. Why was I being attacked?
The healer was behind a rock.
Was it because I was being useful?
No, the healer was behind a rock.
Fair
and the
enough.
roast would be seen.
Yeah, I couldn't see the
and
deer sneaking up
the
on me.
barbarian was in a hole. So
Gosh
I am
darn it.
pleased to report that Mediator Tindy gets less squishy wizard by the level.
Good.
Hooray for extra HP.
Yep.
Yeah, very important.
just remember, things hit harder too.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's me.
And finally, I am usually your DM extraordinaire, AJ, on every Saturday, but tonight I am Rykon Score, the Dark Jedi Immune. And might I say, with last Saturday, Micah, it's because your armor broke. You were so easy and squishy like a bug.
Yes, you say that, but I'm pretty sure the things that hit me would have still hit me even with the armor, honestly, because I'm pretty sure they were all above 16.
Yeah, but I spent a 3rd level guiding bolt and it didn't hit you, and I'm sad.
I would be dead.
Isn't that funny?
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome for the deer.
Skit gave him disadvantage on that.
And then I just nuked the guy.
Yep.
But
And
Anyways.
it was lovely to picture.
Yeah. If you, speaking of that campaign though, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out our one shot where we tried out an advanced 5e system. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, I love it, but I'm biased because I spent money on it.
It's a little, it can be a little slow here and there, but to be fair, that's more us trying to learn the characters than anything.
Yeah, we didn't know we were doing it.
Yeah. And with that, who would like to give a session recap for a 1 reroll?
I can, but not in character.
All right. I don't see anyone else raising their hands. So
Because I wrote down what happened, but I did not write it in a narrative voice, so to speak.
that's fine. I mean, a lot of last session was the fight, so there's not much
Yes.
really to go.
So,
Alright,
last time, after the mysterious puzzle cube was solved, we were guided into this forked chamber, which I believe had 5 different ways to go.
6, but pretty
6, yes. And as the party and guests were split up, Zim and Rykon ended up back safe at the entrance. We had a great time. Bridge ended up in the only room that where Bridge is king, a poison gas chamber, to which he doesn't breathe.
The chances of that were amazing.
And meanwhile, Tindy and I believe the tribal chief, who couldn't talk English, ended up in a room with a mysterious caged ghost. A Star Weird. One of the reasons you don't look into hyperspace while you're traveling, and why every space pilot, when jumping to hyperspace, turns around.
It's also why you don't go into the outer, or like past the outer rim into unknown territory, and it's also why you do not just stay stagnant in space.
Yep, gotta keep moving, or else they'll eat you.
They will.
Yeah. And after the party had grouped back up together, despite trying to avoid it, we learned that the Star Weird was the thing guarding the treasure vault, or in this case, a library. After a long, grueling fight where Bridge almost died, Tindy almost died, Rykon and Zim had a great time. We finally entered the treasure room after beating that ghost to death. To which I know that Zim gained a new Beskar chestplate. I gained a situational but pretty rad lightsaber technique. And I forget what the other 2 got.
I found a...
Oh, you got a bot? We got you a backup body.
Well, no, I got a Old Republic droid core and a book that spoke of mixing organic and robotic materials.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe Tindy found the Padawan braid that has the ability to give back, I believe it was 4 force points.
It's a pearl of power.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, like, is it like a spindle for force points that I can tap?
So pretty much, at any point, by using an action, you just regain 4 force points.
Once per day or something?
It's once per week, and the reason for that is because you don't have to short rest with it. You can just use it,
Yeah.
and get up to a 3rd level spell back.
Excellent.
And last we left off, we were in the library, and there were 2 Tindys.
Yes, there were. There was not 2 Tindys, but close
I
enough.
deleted the other one. My apologies.
No, it was funny.
Either way. Yeah, you're in the library. You kind of watch around as, you know, the chief and their guy kind of seems content with what they were able to get. None of you were aware of what they were able to pick up in here, but they seem pretty content.
Didn't
Dolly
I also grab some? I'm sorry. Didn't Tindy also grab some saber parts or something?
No, those were offered to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I took the braid instead. Gotcha.
Yep.
No. That's just what you guys found in here and you were allowed to keep. You also struck the deal with them that in exchange for actually fighting the Star Weird and getting the items, you had full access to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
We were welcomed into the tribe, and you all get your own mask
Mm-hmm.
if you want.
Hell yes.
One of you will be allowed to go and visit the Force Nexus, which I believe, Tindy, you were the one who had the main interest in that.
Yes.
They did.
One person could go down into these caverns below. They don't say what's down there, but they said that it could be interesting for some. And then you were able to pick one of the 3 droid bodies that Bridge found.
Yeah, to which I don't think we chose which body, and I'm gonna call dibs on the cave.
All right.
Since I'm not getting a mask, this might just be a fun reason of why I'm not there.
So I would say that like one of the main people and a side character can go with. So that is up to you if you want to take like Tony with you or anything.
Let's go, Tony.
All right, Tony and a Rykon trip. I like
No
it. I
one
dig
screws
it.
Tony but life, so let's give Tony something.
Damn right. All right. With that, you kind of watch Dolly kind of scramble around the room, though, picking up books, reading them. She's clearly just in her element. It doesn't take her probably more than 10 minutes to go through every book in this room and grab what she wants, and then kind of just has this large, overweighted satchel just on her. She's like, all right.
Madam, no one's going to take them from you.
Damn right. You don't get it. A lot of this is some really valuable history. I mean, I didn't become an expert in the field of both the Sith and Jedi for nothing.
Madam, I'm an expert on antiques. I understand.
Tindy raises an eyebrow, and that doesn't violate the terms of our agreement with the locals.
Nope, they have what they want. If you have any other books upstairs that you want, you can take it. They're mainly was concerned of whatever was in here and they had now.
Gotcha. Very well. I know their attention has been elsewhere, but can I do a perception check to see if I notice what it is that they have taken?
I would say that even if you were to, it is currently concealed within like a bag and then in a box.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it is
what I'm
already
trying to-
traded away.
And that's fine. What I'm asking is, like, when we entered and I look at the place now, is it possible for me to notice what's been removed from coming in earlier, or is it? Never mind.
No, I can see what you're thinking. Like if something seems out of place, like recently, an area that was recently moved that you guys haven't touched.
Like, is there a big old
Vacant
spot?
where it wasn't before.
Yeah, is there a big old clean spot where dust should have been?
Roll me, something like that. Roll me an investigation check.
Rolling investigation.
It's gonna be a hard DC, but
Can I help?
That's fair.
Never mind.
yeah. 17?
That's not bad.
That ain't bad.
17's not bad. You know that there was 2 objects they took. That is to the extent of your knowledge.
Any kind of inclination of how big the objects were? Like book-sized, tabletop size?
Probably
Bridge sized.
not bridge size.
Red box sized?
Probably a little bit bigger than a book.
Okay.
Both objects a little bit bigger than a book.
Okay.
They took bridge.
Could be just 2 really big books.
Exactly.
No.
Tomes. They took tomes.
Damn.
Could be. You don't know.
Wait.
With that
Okay.
though, the room is pretty much searched through.
Where do we go from here?
Well,
Out. We go
Yeah.
out. We leave.
Bridge is
I,
just closing up his compartments. Do we care about any of the other directions? There was one room that was just kind of full of plants.
No, Bridge. No, we don't.
I mean, honestly, you guys have time to explore the cave if you want, but my only worry about that is, as she pulls out her watch that is spinning rapidly, we don't know what that's going to cause.
We should move with fleetness then.
Agreed.
Oh, I
we
can't
should get
dilate time.
We should get out of here as everyone is just limping away.
I would say, as Rykon and Zim are just sort of walking.
Yeah.
Bridge is just sputtering like one of those cartoon old cars.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll get you to Tony.
Can walk myself as I'm just rolling. And
I'm not trying to
clattering.
help you walk. I just said, don't worry, we'll get you to Tony.
It's going to get you to the mechanic.
Yeah.
So you're not even walking yourself. You're rolling.
He's got a point, you know.
There's a small...
You see the compartment open up and a clicking noise. Gosh darn it! I'm out of rockets.
No rockets. Yeah.
Nice try, jackass. You're out of ammo.
It doesn't take you long to kind of retrace your steps through the cave to get back to the entrance, which is now there.
Oh, good.
as
As
you all
we-
kind of.
Sorry. I was gonna say, as we get out, can I check my chronometer to see what it's saying we were in there for?
Yeah.
Ooh, good question.
Like,
So
does
you-
it actually reset with us coming out, or is it still messed up?
So, as you kind of walk out of the main room upstairs, it takes about that long for every system of your guys' to kind of reset in date and time. As you kind of look at it, the days jump by 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Intelligence check for anyone who wants to figure out why that may be.
Okay, I ain't
Okay.
good at this, but
Sure.
natural 20.
Woo!
6.
Rycon, you know
7.
exactly what this is for. Why that happened.
Rycon just begins to do sit-ups. Future.
Oh god,
You-
they could have eaten Tony by now.
Rycon, you know that this was probably something that was put by there by the Jedi, probably fueled by the Force Nexus, and specifically made to stall. So that if anyone were to try to break in, or say a Sith Lord try to steal knowledge that was in there, it gives
Mhm.
the Jedi plenty of time to get here and get in there to stop them before they could take anything. It's just something that could not be turned off now because of the fact that, well, no one knows how.
I will
Everyone who
speak
did
no
is dead.
specific details. I will simply tell Tindy, this is your people's fault.
They blink and, completely missing the sarcasm, say, what did we do? I'm not from around here.
Is say Jedi or the
Really?
Chiss?
Both. Also, Casey, it's not pertinent for right now, but be careful when rolling saves for checks, because you can be proficient in saves.
Yeah.
How do I make that distinction?
One box says saving throws, the other box just has the stats. So if you look on the
Okay.
left, you just click the name of the stat.
Yeah.
I tried that and
yeah.
yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, luckily
It doesn't
luckily
matter right
you-
now, for when it will matter.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Rycon
you.
explains no further. This could be about your race, this could be about your religion, this could be about your height.
It will eat at Tindy for days.
Anyway.
As you kind of I do need to know, do any of you take Bridge, do you take that book about like Dark Side 101 on your way out, or does anyone grab anything
Wait,
else?
I forgot that was there. Yeah, I need the Dark Side book.
That was what Bridge found. You don't know it's
Oh.
there. It was Dangers of the Dark Side 101. It's kind of a book that's a warning more than anything.
Yeah, I'm a
I
bird.
I
don't-
don't do these cool things.
Yeah.
But it's more of like
Don't be awesome.
it's more of this is what could happen to you mentally if you start to
Just-
tamper it
it
with
just-
it unknowingly.
It just shows a picture
Star
of an
Wars
old man.
equivalent of McGruff the crime dog.
Does our connection to the Force resume when we step out of the
Oh yeah.
caves?
As soon as you're back in there, it's like breathing fresh air. It is
Yeah,
completely
Tim-
restored.
yeah. Tindy takes a deep breath of that and just turns half a head to Rycon to see how they're reacting. He's reacting.
Okay. You ever see someone leave the oppressive smell of a candle store?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the village chief is right there with you. So is his compatriot.
Just the whole walk back. Well, I have to go through the perfume department.
Yep.
What's that, like a space perfume department?
Yeah.
As far as taking the book, I don't have it written down that I found that book. I found a book on the bio-robot mix.
Yeah.
You did, but this was before you guys went down into the actual sub-layers.
That's right. That was up in the actual.
Yes. This is just as you're going
yeah.
back through the original regular library.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm trying to think. Does that count as against the deal we've made with them?
Nope. They got what they wanted. They said anything
Okay.
else that is here is free game.
Then yeah, he's probably just got the book out and reading it in front of him as we're walking.
Alright.
He can read.
So, Broden, take this as seriously as you want, but is there a gift shop on the way out? That just
it
so
look-
conveniently showed up.
It looks like there is the remains of one, with spray painted on the wall. the Sith have been here. Ha 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 ha.
Bridge is just looking at the book and then looks up to Rykon. We may want to invest in face moisturizer for you.
That is true.
Rykon just looks at
It
you,
would be in there.
masked eyes narrowed. You know my species doesn't show age, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Just kind of moves faster past you.
Thinks about
Flips
Darth
the
Sidious the
page.
Wise.
Tindy sidles up beside Rykon and clears their throat and says, "At a time when we can have some privacy, I'd like to ask your advice. Don't make a thing out of it." And walks away.
I'm popular today.
You says that to yourself as you're walking out.
Yes, I do.
All right.
After
As
being
you
in
all-
the fresh air, I have relaxed.
Yeah. As you as you emerge from the temple, you kind of see a large moon in the sky, or an actual moon, not the Death Star.
Okay.
I
no
have to
moon.
specify. That has not been traded yet.
We all point up, getting ready to say it.
Yeah,
The
still in
creatures-
construction.
Yeah, the creatures you had on your way here are no longer resting at your side, but you do see them kind of out in the distance grazing. There's no predators on the planet, so they are fine.
Fascinating.
I'm just imagining we get back and Tony has gone fully native.
Zim, as you kind of walk out of the temple, you notice that your comm is blinking with what seems to be 5 missed messages.
Oh no.
All of them from your mentor.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna go take this real quick.
All right. Do you go through the messages first, or do you call them immediately?
Go through the messages because I think it'd be a bad idea to just go, "Hey, so what were you calling me about?"
As you kind of go through the messages, each one kind of seems to get, at first, angry a little bit, and then you start to notice an actual worriness into the voice.
My boy.
Yeah, kind of.
Hard
Where
work.
you just have the voice coming through your head as you hear the familiar sounds of Cad Bane as he goes, like, pick up when you can. A golden opportunity has presented itself for you. My other compatriot, Boba Fett, is hosting his annual little get-together for all the bounty hunters, sponsored mainly and, well, requested by the Hutts.
The toga party.
Give me a ring when you get a chance. And then as it kind of goes on, that's the first message. It starts to get angry, and then by the final one he goes, "Boy, are you okay? I never would have thought that you may have been able to be taken down after all the training I put you through, and I had to imagine I sent a kid to his early grave."
Right, then after hearing the messages, he'll call right back.
Alright. It takes a little minute, but almost immediately you get a pickup on the line and you just hear, "Where the hell have you been?"
So I've been in a place where the Force kind of changed time in some weird way. Still traveling with that group that I told you about before.
Ugh, but those Force users.
Yeah, it gets really annoying after some time.
Yeah, no, trust me, I understand. I have a friend who... Never mind. Either way.
I love he just ends the sentence with, I have a friend.
Where are you? I need to meet you so I can give you the coordinates / well,
What's the
beacon
name of
that's
the
going to
planet?
tell the Hutt clan that, not to kill you on sight.
What's the planet we're on?
Oh,
You are on the planet of Osus.
Okay, then yeah, I tell him we're on Osus.
Man, you've been dragged all the way to that Jedi planet.
Yep. Got a little bit roughed up here, but hopefully good night's rest should take care of that.
You better hope you're on top of your game for this event.
No problem.
Anything interesting on the planet, though?
A nice Mandalorian armor.
It wasn't taken off a dead Mandalorian, was it?
It wasn't. It was taken off of a ancient, like a really old Mandalorian. Like the remains were already there. I intend to take care of the armor history to show that it does belong to me now.
As long as you didn't kill none of them Mandalorians to get it recently. Otherwise, I think Boba would have had your head on a platter. He's not much for them, but, you know, his father was one, so he cares at least enough to put those who are not worthy of it in the ground.
Got it. So, so if that does happen, I intend to take care of it all peacefully when we get to Jabba's. I'll tell him that's me and my associates.
Don't worry. You said you weren't the one who killed him? An old Mandalorian?
I was not the one who killed him.
Alright. I'll smooth stuff over with Boba so that he doesn't attack you on sight. Don't worry, I'll get through to him.
Much appreciated.
In the meantime, though, I'll meet you on OCC in about a day or two. I'll give you a quick lesson on something while I'm at it.
Got it.
Alright. See you around, flyboy, and hands up on you.
Alright.
Alright. You have now 2 days before your mentor will arrive.
I'm wondering if
Well, I'll start looking at one of the options that we got for our reward tomorrow. Get a good night's sleep tonight.
Fair. That being said, do you all decide to camp out here at the temple, or do you just want to make your way back to the cave?
I think we should leave. This temple is bad.
Yeah, let's leave very quickly.
We just wake up and suddenly we're back in the temple. No. No!
This was the temple?
The temple is your own mind.
Always has been.
That was this temple. You assume there's not more on this planet. Either way. Alright. So it sounds like the majority of you will want to just travel back immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Alright. That's not too difficult, as you are able to, about, 30 minutes to an hour, round up all the beasts that delivered you guys here, and you make your way there. It is a bit of a journey. You'll get your long rest, because it is about a 3 days ride out, but no issues on your way from there to back to your ship and the tribe. As you kind of make your way back to the base, though, now the sun coming up from the sky. Let me just switch the music. You see back scouting parties who kind of see you in the distance, kind of wave to you all, as they all seem to signal back towards them, towards the base, as if to say, hey, we found them. As you kind of make your way to the base, you can kind of see a large crowd kind of gathering outside. Most of the tribe kind of shocked that you're all back, that the trip was so long. You can kind of see up on the platform your ship still sitting there, seems completely untouched. As you kind of have a small group kind of cheering for you. As you kind of get closer, though, you notice that one of them seems, kind of dressed like one of the tribes people. Definitely stands out from them. As sure enough, you see Tony kind of just sitting there with like paint on his face. He has a little mask on his head that
God
he
damn
kind of
it,
just
he
has
did
put
go
up right now.
native.
And he goes, "Wow, I did not think you guys were coming back. I mean, to be fair, I was giving you guys an honorary 2 months before I took the ship."
That
2
sounds
months
about
even
right.
seems a bit generous.
To be fair, I'd rather, make sure than just take your ship and leave and then have you want to all hunt me down and kill me. Especially that one, as he points towards Bridge.
You've made the appropriate decision to your further longevity.
Am I ever going to be friends with any of you?
I seek no immediate ill will towards you.
Tindy just raises an eyebrow and says nothing.
Tony,
Kind
If
of
it
just looks at Zim.
if it makes Tony, if it makes you feel better, I don't know if we are friends with us.
What's the statement from Helsing Unabridged?
Make it for 3 weeks, and I might learn your name. Until then, you're spare blood.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, in actual time frame, I was mapping it out today. Your group has been together technically for 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Statement stands.
So-
I don't know if we are friends with us.
That is fair. I can't even tell if some of you like yourself. Anyways. Yeah, you are welcome back. And they kind of go over through everything about, what's happened and the deals that you kind of made as they planned for tonight for there to be a feast in your honor as a welcome to the tribe. And they ask for those who would be wanting it for the mask that was promised to come and get measured.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Yub Nub
Tindy joins them with a
intensifies.
smile.
Yub Nub.
Right. Tindy, you join. Rykon, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I made an Ewok joke.
Okay. Sorry, not your jerk. Bridge and Zim.
Bridge will just kind of look at the people wearing masks and then just kind of look at himself. Got any hats?
They get Dolly translates it, and they kind of just look at each other, and they kind of nod towards you, like, yeah, we can do a hat.
Woo.
I will happily take a mask.
All right. That will take, for some of you, a bit of the day, as they have the time to take the measurements. You kind of go through and picking out the materials. In the meantime, Rykon, do you do anything particular?
Nope.
Okay. Time passes, and by night, you are all kind of surrounded by this large fire outside of the cave as they are just cooking and throwing a party. You can see most of the dishes seem to be mainly vegetables, seemingly that they just don't have much ways of meat on the planet, as there's not much things to hunt. But, yeah.
There is one thing I'd like to show off. I walk up to Zim and hold out my lightsaber and say, "Try to take this. As hard as you can."
I mean, if you say so, I would. What the hell is that?
I will
Point
play
to
and
the-
look away. I'll look away. I'll play with it.
As he looks away, he'll just try to take it from him.
No matter how hard you pull, what angle you take, you cannot remove my lightsaber from my hand.
Zim, to give you an idea, there is a moment where he just opens up his hand and is sitting there. You go to grab it, and it's like
You can't get it out.
Like,
Oh,
it's
so the
just
Amazing
there.
Spider-Man basketball scene.
Kind of, but then you see me easily put it right back on my belt.
Yeah. As that happens, Rykon, you can feel your connection to the crystal.
Pretty wizard, isn't it?
Cool.
That's just me showing off that now, As long as I am conscious, I cannot be disarmed.
All right. As the party continues on, if anything else anyone would like to do for the tonight, you just party until the night. Kind of celebrating.
Everyone does a Charlie Brown dance.
They do. In sync.
Bridge is Linus in this situation.
I will say, you do notice though that the village chief is gone for most of it. Probably taking care of whatever he needs to since he was gone for 2 weeks.
All the paperwork.
Hey,
Logistics.
tribe leaders ain't an easy job.
Tindy would get up with a full belly and look around and go and see if they could talk to the tribal leader.
All right. They the tribe people kind of point you into the right direction. He's kind of inside in the caves, not too far in. You see him right now, currently with what seems to be this thinner, lanky woman with a mask on her face. Beside them are this little girl who kind of has a half mask on. You can just see at the bottom of the face seems to be pure white skin. And she's just kind of hugging his leg, kind of cradling back and forth. She's probably around 6 or 7.
I don't want to intrude, but I will stand like at his peripheral vision, his or her peripheral vision, so they know that I want to talk to them when they're free.
He kind of looks up eventually and kind of acknowledges you, says something to the woman, hands her the child, and kind of walks over to you.
Above table, how do I address this? How do I address the chieftain?
Typically, it's customary for like a slight like bow, nothing too extravagant.
That's great. What do I call them?
Oh,
You
Pickle.
he actually.
you can't talk to him. You don't have the translator with you.
You don't have Dolly with you. You don't actually know his
damn
name. He actually
Oh.
never said his name either.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's awkward.
He kind of looks at you and looks around to see if Dolly is there.
And I shake my head and bow my head, smiling an apology. Clearly, I did not think this through well enough. I apologize. And withdraw.
He will like give you like a wait moment, like a gesture. And he kind of looks down the cave. You can kind of see you see Tony kind of just lazily lying back in a chair, and he like calls over to him. And to your surprise, Tony sits up and looks over, seeming to understand him a little.
Truly, he's gone native.
Tony will walk over. I rolled to see if he did anything, and he chose language. He rolled a natural 20.
Oh, good for him.
He didn't learn it, but he can do a rough translation if needed.
Okay. Fantastic. Tindy turns to Tony and says, "Would you please convey to him our sincerest thanks and hope that this arrangement has reached a satisfying end for him?"
I will try. And he turns back to the chief. You get most of what he says is probably through like gesturing with the words more, but it does seem to get across to the chief. It takes a minute, but it seems to work.
Okay.
And he kind of nods towards you, holds out his hand to kind of shake yours.
Tindy takes it.
All right. He shakes your hand. There's a lot of strength in the grip, but it's not like crushing. As he says something, as Tony kind of looks back to you and goes, he says that you were the one who wanted to see an eye?
And Tindy nods nods and says, "Very much, yes."
He kind of relays that back to the chief, and chief nods. translating again, Tony just kind of looks at you and goes, he said, 2, maybe in a day or 2, if you're willing to wait. It's up to you.
They nod again.
All right. Message has kind of gone through as you have scheduled that within the next 2 to 3 days that you would be coming to the chief to go up and look.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Chief kind of goes back to his family. Tony grabs what seems to be another form of booze off one of the tables and goes back out and starts joining the conga line.
Gotcha. Tindy does not join the conga line, but they keep a respectful distance and watch the conga line with a curious smile.
As he's going through, as he's passing Zim, he goes, I could never have done this as a stormtrooper. This is fucking amazing.
Yes, the jackboots aren't great for dancing.
They're not. Alright. If that is all, the party wraps up, everyone goes to bed, and it is the next day. You all have different things you can do. So I will ask who would like to go first with their things. Zim,
I
if
had
you...
a thing.
Okay.
Tandy wanted to meet with Rykon. Well, now is time.
Could be early morning.
Tindy finds some way to make a cup of coffee or tea, coffee, and finds Rykon and offers him a cup.
Rykon will abstain.
For me.
I want to point out you've never seen him consume anything.
That's true.
Also,
well,
real quick, because of what is on this planet, that coffee is a bright yellow.
I take a careful sniff.
Mountain Dew.
Smells like coffee.
Okay, great. Tindy stands beside Rykon and says, it was very suffocating down there. I am pleased to see that you also came out of it on the other side.
Your concern is appreciated. It was maddening.
I nearly lost my temper down there, and anger was a powerful ally in that moment against that thing.
Intoxicating, is it not?
That's why I wanted to speak with you. They look to the sunrise or whatever, wherever the sun is, and say, my master rarely spoke of his anger, and I don't think that did him any favors. I believe that I must learn to master this anger or it will master me, and as someone who regularly taps their anger, I would appreciate your perspective if you would be willing to share it.
Tindy, do you know why I wish your former religion burnt to the ground?
I have an idea you want to tell me anyway, so please do.
It's more dramatic. The Sith and the Jedi shut part of themselves away in exchange for meaningless dogmatism. Any sentient who can choose that is beyond reason, and in a galaxy like this, tantamount to death.
They tilt their head, raise an eyebrow, and counter, it is not easy to make a choice when you're only given polar opposites. This is good, the other is evil.
Which is
This
why I
is
do
sacred,
not
the other is profane.
Which is why I do not hunt Jedi or Sith. I merely want their traditions destroyed.
Well, job largely done.
I will admit, nightfall was serendipitous, if not tragic. But if you want to harness anger and not let it consume you, you must focus on what you're angry about. Preferably something that's not going to go away, and channel it in that direction. As a flamethrower, not a wildfire.
Think I understand?
We can find out.
It's not something I want to pursue on the ship.
No, my
and
stuff is
certainly
here.
Not in... Exactly. But if an opportunity for training presents itself, I would not be adverse to hearing more. That said, is there any... The Force's balance. Is there anything I can do for you?
Raikon just sighs, looks up at the sunset, and looks at Tindy. I am no stranger to tranquility, but it does not serve my goals. I don't lash out at every space peasant I pass by. I believe I'm well in control. Raikon's gonna ignite his double saber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you want to know how this happens. And then he's gonna de-ignite it. We'll try not to take you that far.
I'm not asking to follow your path. I'm
aware.
Very good.
But, Burn, there are no, like, not even squirrels or birds or anything.
There's like a few sounds of birds and everything. Yeah, there's not much wildlife at all.
It's hard to truly feel it on a planet with no life. Just so I know, how deep does Tindy want to go? Do they want to learn how to shoot lightning out of their fingies?
They don't.
Okay, good.
They don't want lightning out of any fingies. This is more about harnessing the anger and using it to fuel the existing force, not letting it corrupt them into the hate-filled, damaging, corrosive force.
So Luke Skywalker at the end. Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi.
I mean,
tapping into it,
but
yeah, tapping into it, but not being consumed by it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because he didn't use it to do new force powers; he just used it to make himself stronger.
Mm-hmm. Not that Tindy knows that. She wasn't anywhere near there.
Well, yeah, I'm saying above game, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm trying to get a scale, so no. I don't teach you how to. I don't spy a bird and just say kill it. But don't do that. If you have anything more concrete or specific you'd like to achieve, keep that in your mind. A lack of ambition and anger are tantamount to poisoning yourself.
They nod and narrow their eyes. Understood. And turn to leave.
Yep.
Right.
And a second I'm not observed, Raikon begins eating. He cannot be seen doing it.
Real quick, as you're turning to leave, can you both roll me a perception check?
I can roll you a perception check.
15.
15.
Perception. That's a 9. That's a no good.
Say, Raikon, you would notice this. You hear what sounds like a little bit of grunting out in the distance. It seems to be, if you look down to the left of the cave, you can see someone down there. It takes you a minute, but you recognize them. It's clearly Tony, but he has one of the vibroblades out right now. And you start to notice that he starts taking this stance. And you realize that he seems to be mimicking and or using Form 3.
Damn it, you made him passive. Of course you took after your other parent.
Oh man, I wish I'd noticed that. Oh, darn.
No, Raikon will just probably point it out. Say,
I mean, yeah, if
And
you're
before
still
you
there,
leave-
Raikon can tell you.
it seems you have a potential apprentice. Go get him a stick.
Yeah, smirking. Tindy's going to walk over to Tommy, observing
Tony.
his form.
Tony!
To Tony, observing his form as they go.
It'd be really funny if you really mess that up going to talk to him. You're like, yeah, we can make a connection.
Hi!
Just like, Tommy!
Tommy, hey, what's up?
It's like, oh, not started well.
By the way, the second way is how his name is spelled. Tauxneigh.
Yep.
That's
true
helpful, thank you. Seeing it
In
print out.
true Star Wars fashion.
Like Tim with 2 M's.
Oh, Tony! I've been mispronouncing it. I apologize.
Hey,
kinda-
Tommy! Who?
Is clearly startled as you approach. He goes, "Oh God!"
He doesn't turn the vibroblade toward me, does he?
No, he doesn't. It's
Okay,
more of
good.
like it's in the air more than anything. Like, oh God.
Gotcha.
Look out, he's got a knife.
Hey.
You may want to plant your feet more.
Thanks.
This form requires stability. Focus.
Right. He'll kind of take a deep breath and kind of feeling weird, but he'll go back into the form. And as you watch him go through it, you have to hand it to him. He is doing it really well. It is not mastery, but it's
No.
very clear that if in a fight, he could use Form 3 if needed.
Yeah, they're gonna say, Tony, this is remarkable progress. Have you picked up other talents this quickly before?
Not really. Honestly, ever since traveling with you guys, going down to that one temple, feeling into the, I guess you guys said the Force, kind of coming to this planet. I don't know, I just woke up one day and decided I'd start watching you guys practice, and this one just felt natural.
Tindy describes Form 3 to the best of their ability, in so much that one of the greatest philosophies and cornerstones of my former order was defense and protection of the weak. This form gives you some advantage in defending yourself and also deflecting back. But you've chosen well. If your instincts are telling you this is the form for you, I would suggest leaning into that instinct. It'll serve you well.
I mean, I was honestly a little torn. It was this one or I see Raikon practice a different one time. One of the few times he actually turns off one side of the lightsaber.
Okay, I say,
More,
just narrow it down.
it's like, looks like he kind of goes in like a fencing stance.
Mm.
I don't know which one that would be, honestly, but I really think I got this one down. Here, take some swings at me. I think I genuinely think I could do this.
Tindy pulls her lightsaber. We need a new pilot.
Cuts off his arm. Oops.
I mean, you could use the other vibroblade if you want. This will be probably
Exactly.
less dangerous.
Tindy reaches past Tony to pull a vibroblade to them safely and says, all right. They activate it and get the balance of it before they assume the form and say, defend yourself.
Know that.
Alright. Alright. Just do some basic lightsaber attacks against them.
That's what I'm doing.
I believe Form 3 gives a +5.
Let's double check that. Where is that going to be?
It's either a +3 or a +5 for Form 3. For anyone who's watching, we don't use the lightsaber forms for that were given in the system. I kind of made my own. And the trade-off for a +5 to your AC is that you can only move 10 feet. minimal
Yes.
movement, but a lot of defense.
Fun
A
Star Wars
+5
fact.
to AC. Okay.
Yoda uses the
Yeah.
most aggressive form the Jedi had.
Yep.
And he ran the place.
All right. That he blocks it with practical ease. As keep swinging until I'll tell you when you hit.
Okay.
Blocks. So I'm pulling up his seat so I can know.
So that's a 9. So a 10 did not hit. How about a 19?
A 19, to your shock, doesn't hit him.
Oh, his natural AC is 15.
Yeah, like Tindy skates the blade up his in the parry and takes a step back, impressed. They say, "Well, your defense is impressive. How is your attack?" And readies to defend himself.
All right. Let me see what he has for this. Because he has some new stuff as well, but I don't think he has anything that's going to help him with this. Nope. Alright. He's just going to take some swings with his blade. Stec blade.
Okay.
First 18.
Even with the +5 from 3, that their AC is only a 12. So yeah, that cuts through.
Yep, as he seems to go for an overhead, you rein it up, and suddenly, faster than you could react, he drops down and is in a bottom upward swing. And he stops it from hitting you, but...
But he got past the defense, yeah.
Yes.
Suddenly his lightsaber crystal turns red. Welcome, Tony.
Like, I would like to assume for dramatic purpose, like, the back and forth goes on longer than just 4 strokes.
Yeah.
But Tindy is, like, notably impressed and is watching Tony's breathing, watching his form, and, like, when he's demonstrated both defense and a solid attack, catching their breath, they say, "Where are your feelings right now?"
Over there.
Honestly, I'm just kind of feeling kind of chill. I mean, I know you... He kind of puts down the blade. He kind of looks skittish. He goes, I know you guys don't like me because I used to be a stormtrooper, and I understand that, but... You know, we were trained, and, you know, I kind of fell right in line with military work, and... I don't know, I never lost my cool with it. It felt really relieving to kind of do exercise and stuff. Didn't much like having to do stuff on the ground where you guys found me, but I mean, hey, that's where they put me.
Tindy reaches out and puts a hand on Tony's shoulder and says, "It can be a lonely universe out there. I speak from experience. You can count me as a comrade, and we're working on friend. But you used to be a stormtrooper. I used to be a member of a now finished off order. A lot of us used to be a lot of things. I'm willing to look past those if you are."
I mean, kind of looks at you and he goes, finished off may be a strong word. I mean, you're still here, and I mean, I know when I was a kid, the Jedi gave me hope.
They narrow their eyes when he says hope, and there's just the slightest shaking no of the head, and hope can be a dangerous thing. Tony, don't use that as your only light. There are other lights as well.
Sometimes for the people who grew up like me, there isn't. Just kind of looks down, starts to walk away towards the cave.
I've hogged the spotlight for long enough. What's Bridge and Zim up to?
So, Zim, you have about a day before your contact arrives, so you can, if you want, choose to help someone or just do your own kind of exploring.
I'll do my own thing.
All right. What would you like?
So what were the reward options again?
There is the temples. There is the cave system, which, as of right now, Raikon said he was going to do, but you could always just go and tell him you want to.
I'll negotiate.
There, you could negotiate for it. There are the droid that Bridge was going to pick out that you could go look at. There's the eye place, but it seems that one has been kind of restricted to Tindy, as that's who asked. And yeah, there's a number of other things you can do. You could also always go and just train for the day and try to get a clock up for learning something.
Kill the locals.
Immediately get down the tribe. Man, not even a day.
Like the animals. I'll go over to negotiate with Raikon.
All right. Raikon, Zim approaches you.
What's your offer?
Simple. You keep the stuff that would seem useful to you, I keep the stuff that seems useful to me.
I think only one of us can go in there at a time, but I can get the stuff that's useful to you.
I mean, if we can only go in one at a time, then you can just get the stuff that's useful to you.
But you got stuff for me. Above game, you got stuff for me in the other room. I was just gonna return the favor.
Okay.
I can always keep an eye out for Zim shit.
Alright. I guess with that settled,
You're just an old
And, yeah, you
Charlieville musket. 75 caliber round. Parry this.
I guess in the meantime, Zim will just study his armor a bit more, try and see if it does have like that whole history of the armor thing that we saw in, I think, Mandalorian season 3.
Yep.
You're gonna have to fill me in on that. I have
Okay.
not watched The Mandalorian.
Okay, so
You and Micah. So
So,
basically, there's a genetic
Yeah,
code in
basically
every
like-
set of Mando armor. It says this was passed to him, who was passed it to him, who got it from him.
Mhm.
That's why Boba Fett can walk up to his armor, boop a few buttons on it, and it'll say mine.
All right. You kind of look at it. Roll me a technology check. It's not a very high DC.
and watch as I roll natural 1. 8.
8. 8 is still good enough.
Okay.
You kind of look through the armor, patting it up and down. You kind of activate the thing. You realize this armor was never registered to anyone.
An unregistered armor. Let's turn this into the space police.
So I've taken what someone has rightfully stolen.
Yes.
Seems normal to us.
I'll input my own name. Say took from random thief. Random dead thief.
Underline's dead.
All right. The armor seems to register it.
Claimed by the blade.
As funny as you do that, and you put it back on, it feels almost like it's like fitting to you now.
Nice.
Feels a lot more comfortable, a lot more your size.
Nice.
All right. Bridge.
Hello. So, game mechanics wise, I am gonna at one point use my long rest to modify my my Astro Tech harness,
Okay.
just so I can have that and get that attached to me for the sake of all my new stuff and doodads.
Mm-hmm.
For right now, the only things I'm gonna this is just for your sake that you have the information. I can only have 2 active, and if I have any more on there, I have to lower my tech points. I'm only gonna have 2 on there right now. I'm gonna have the hacking communications ability and the grounding system. So now I have flat rolls with lightning damage right now.
All right.
But beyond that, I'd like to go and start kind of inspecting the 3 different choices of the droids.
Easily done.
Like, if possible, I just want to spend a lot of time inspecting all of them to see what each of them might have to offer
All
for the
right.
sake of either dismantling or repurposing.
I'm gonna say that Tony is actually gonna join you on that as he walks in, because he is also a tech nut.
Mhm.
So roll me a technology check as they kind of them.
Don't kill them. We can have more crew.
Roll me a technology check to kind of get an idea of like what each of these are,
Okay.
what you could use them for or do. At advantage because Tony's there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm setting some stuff.
Good.
Zim Zalabim! 18.
18. Yeah.
I
You
say
gotta go
Zim
through-
Zalabim, and suddenly Zim just pokes his head out. Did you call me? No.
You start going through the droids. First one you go to is the protocol droid. Through a little, working on it, you find out that the name of this droid is 45-D20. It is seemingly a translator and protocol droid.
Let's call him Gary.
And it's mostly there. It would take you probably 2 time of downtime to, if making the DC, repair it back to full functioning.
Mm-hmm.
The second is the scout droid.
Mm-hmm.
You know that this thing cannot speak, but can be equipped to the ship to be used for exploration of finding things. So, pretty much this thing can go out while you all are doing something else and roll investigation or perception check in order to help you find temples or cave systems that you may not want to just haphazardly go into.
Mm.
It can scout ahead for you and send it back to you in video.
Do I know if these probe droids have any kind of signal emitter or tracking device inside of them set just sort of built into them by the Empire? Because I know it's technically been sort of turned off right now because of the dent in its side. But if we were to take it and work on it, would it just start sending out a signal and bring things to us? Do I know that by chance?
I would say with an 18, you would know that yes, there is a thing that will send out a signal if you were to start working on it and roll low enough. You would possibly reactivate the signal, even if it's for a second.
And does this probe droid have any means of protecting itself, or is it just for scouting, looking at stuff?
It does seem to have a single blaster at the hooked onto the bottom of it that it can rotate and blast with.
Okay.
But it seems mostly used for just scouting.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah,
It's the little dudes from Hoth in episode 5.
kind of.
Oh.
Imperial probe.
And then you have the Old Republic droid, which you notice that this droid is mainly an empty husk. There is no actual program on this droid. This essentially could be used as a new body. It seems extremely dexterous, and you do know there's a voice module in this.
Hmm.
But it's complicated. A lot more complicated than some of the other two droids. So it would take a bit longer for you to redo or put back together. But you do have the core for it. You find.
This is the core that goes to this droid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Am
also
I able to-
above game, even if you don't want to take it as your backup body, you fix it. We can get a memory unit. We can get a new friend.
That is also an option.
Do I know if there's anything on this core that I have?
It just seems to be a old-time power core.
Oh, it's just the power core for it. Okay.
Yeah, it powers up the body. It makes everything functional.
Okay, I thought it was meaning like the core, like the memory parts to it.
Nope.
Okay, interesting.
The thing seems to have no personality to it or memory.
There's a joke there, but it's above me. I mean, it's below me.
Hmm. Well, Bridge will take note of all this stuff, like he's just putting it down on his data pad as he's sort of just taking measurements, checking what's working, what's missing, and just noting it all down.
All
He
right.
does plan to talk with the group about this, and he has opinions on it, but he's still gonna probably talk to people about it.
No, that's fair. All right. With that, we're gonna say we're probably trying to move into more afternoon time now. You've all kind of been going about your day. You looking at the robots. Tindy, you've been kind of just chatting with the local villagers.
Mm-hmm.
Rykon, I think you do whatever Rykon does when he's alone. See?
Invoke fear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most of the villagers don't approach you. They're still a little.
I mean, I'll tell you what I do above game when I'm not being noticed.
All right.
Rykon thinks about his goal, how much dogmatism pisses him off, and just sort of keeps the anger tank full, like Bruce Banner.
Hmm.
All right. And Zim, what do you do?
For what, like the extra day?
Yeah. You can tell me if you
Alright.
just want to skip ahead to when your mentor comes.
Well, I thought I was gonna do
Uh,
that cave.
Oh, you can if you want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if Zim wants to do it, he can right now. Or if Zim just would rather wait and just hang around until his mentor comes, that's also something he can do.
Since Zim knows that Rykon is gonna try and pick something out for him, he won't go into the cave. Instead, he'll polish his new armor, his quote unquote new armor, so then he looks presentable.
I heard
Alright.
he'll punish it.
I'll punish my armor.
Learn!
you get out the whip and you start whipping it.
Hmm.
Elias?
Are you learning yet? The armor stays silent.
Guess
All
we're
right.
gonna keep
So, Rykon, you taking the
Yes.
the tour of the cave?
going. Yes.
You see next to you, kind of jumping excitedly a little bit, is Tony with a little backpack on, little delving helmet.
Yes.
You know we had these on the ship?
Yes.
All right. He kind of gestures over someone into the cave, or like one of the tribesmen who kind of comes to you to the entrance of the cave, and he goes, "All right, ready? Awesome. Ever been cave exploring?
No, not really. I prefer to stay above ground, but I have nothing to do on this planet.
Fair enough. I mean, practically just in some downtime right now, which is kind of nice. All right."
I saw what you
You-
were doing in the morning.
He goes quiet at that. He doesn't. He just goes.
If you want to learn, learn. But do not let Jedi pacifism poison your mind. Look where it got them.
I'll be honest with you, I don't care about the pacifism. I just don't like getting shot.
Nobody does, but there's a better form for that.
Can't shoot you if they're dead.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, if you offer in lessons, I'll take lessons.
Damn it! It goes 4, 6, 7.
I can teach you a lot of ways of how to fight. And ways where you're not gunning down innocent citizens.
Ouch.
Tell me that's not something you've done?
No, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys found me on my first assignment. I haven't had to kill anyone in that.
Hmm. Then you're welcome. You may well have had to.
I go for the dental plan one time.
Mhm.
This conversation's
No.
kind of happening as you're
Motherfucker was
walking
in it
down.
for the fashion.
Yeah, this conversation's kind of happening as you're walking down into the cave. Rykon, roll me well, obviously with you, a charisma check. As you're just kind of
15.
15. It doesn't take long for you to realize you're probably about a mile down. You can feel crystals around you.
Rykon's gonna have a funny idea.
All right.
Tony,
Yes.
I need you to concentrate on your environment. Is your instincts pulling you in any particular direction?
The guy looks at you confused and he goes,
Trust
mean-
me.
okay. It's one of those force things when you need to meditate on this.
Not meditate, just relax and feel. Don't close yourself off to what's around you, and
Okay.
don't do this sarcastically.
He's just gonna look at you. I'm not being sarcastic.
And because Rykon will do the same just to demonstrate. Basically, feel for if any crystal calls out.
All right. All right. So do what you're doing. Got it. Gonna close his eyes and reach out. 17.
Good boy.
Rykon, as you do it, you don't need to roll. You kind of feel out into the force into it. You only get the same from your own crystal. It seems to, as you kind of feel towards the others, it seems to draw you in further into it.
You're looking at other women.
Aw,
Kinda.
She's possessive. Good. Good.
Oh, it's very possessive. You get the feeling.
I mean, it's a
But you do see.
It's a natural red crystal. Who knows with this anomaly of nature?
You don't even know how that thing was made.
No, it shouldn't.
As you kind of watch Tony, though, semi in a daze, kind of walk towards one of the side sections of the cave. You look over to the advisor for a half second. He kind of he can tell what's going on. He's kind of like nodding at it, like, "Wow,
Yep,
okay."
yeah, that's it. I'm giving him the let him do it.
Yeah, he's fine with it. And Tony kind of stumbles into the darkness for a little bit. He's gone for probably 20 minutes. As you suddenly see him kind of stumble back out, and in his hand he is holding a small blue crystal.
And look what happens when you trust me.
Does it mean I'm going to be hunted down more by the...
Don't use it as much as you think.
Okay. You want to know what's crazy about this?
Yes?
If I would have shown abilities like this when I was a stormtrooper...
Executed on the spot.
No, actually. They would have sent me over to the Death Trooper squad. Or at least started training for it.
Black
Yeah.
isn't your color.
Looks up at you. I'm gonna guess it's yours, though.
It's slimming.
Can't argue with that.
Compliments my eyes, doesn't it? Stares into
The
your
eyes
soul.
he can't see?
He'll pocket the crystal. And he goes,
We'll train you proper.
cool. I just want to do the cave exploring now.
Feel free.
Cool. So, nothing much else happens during it, but it does take you probably around 3 hours of cave exploring. There's some pretty nice natural beauties. You do see at one point this like crystalline rock that is clearly kyber crystals, but just kind of broken out in this really beautiful kind of look. It seems this place is mostly untouched, as you're kind of led out of the cave.
I'm just gonna put my hand on Tony's. While we are on this planet, you tell nobody what you saw. Trust me.
He kind of looks at you and then kind of looks over towards the guide, who just kind of looks at you too, like...
He doesn't speak basic.
He doesn't, but he's just kind of wondering what you're doing, like, are we good?
Oh no, I give him the space thumbs up.
He kind of nods. Starts to
But does
wander
Tony
off.
agree to keep that a secret even from the group?
He will look at you and go, why?
I can tell you when we're off planet.
Persuasion check.
Okay, I'm just as good as that one. Natural 20.
I mean, can't really use anything for it right now. I ain't got exactly one of those lightsabers, so I don't see why not. Can't even tell Tindy though. I mean, I don't know. She's starting to warm up.
They can
have friends.
They can learn later. But again, just wait till we're off this planet.
Okay, fine, but if they get angry, it's on you.
If Tindy gets angry, I will reward them in some way.
You're a very weird person, Raikon.
Raikon has no response. He merely flutters his cape dramatically. And I do want to try to roll deception on this one just to scare him a little bit. Careful.
All right.
Bridge might want to eat you if you keep talking like that.
Disadvantage.
Oh, I plan to, but I have a +6.
Please dichotomy a man right now.
12?
12. He just kind of screams back at you. He's a droid!
I'm aware. That's the scary part.
What have I been voluntold into?
And basically, I'm just gonna also roll up to Zim if he's not on the phone, and just say, "I can't tell you what's down there, but it's nothing that would interest you."
I thought you were gonna have him go down and you're just gonna have like a small school.
No, because above game, I know like what Raikon doesn't know Zim that well, and I feel if Cad Bane asked you, you'd talk.
That's fair. You assume he cares.
There's a whole arc where he steals lightsabers.
Either way.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, he stole Ahsoka's. He had Ahsoka's lightsaber stolen. They're valuable.
Why did he steal hers?
Because
Well,
she's easier to get to.
yeah, basically hired a pickpocket. Padawan. This one can't do nothing. 90
Alright.
pounds soaking wet.
Alright. And no one else has anything to do that day?
Ridge takes up his
So-
passion for Latin dance.
Nah, 2 left feet wouldn't work out.
Damn.
So I got this crushed kyber crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Snort.
What?
Snort it.
No, I'm. Dear goodness, no.
Feel the force.
I snort it. You vacuum it into you.
I am truly the Roomba now. My question is, what would you have me roll to experiment on the kyber crystal? To figure out if there's a way to utilize this for some sort of Like maybe hidden weapon or maybe a one-use big weapon, because I'm assuming I know kyber crystals work in lightsabers. I may not know all about how they function because I've never worked on a lightsaber, but I'm assuming I know
I mean,
that inside Rykon's lightsaber is a kyber crystal.
I feel like you would have asked. I think Rykon would Rykon have answered. I mean,
Maybe
in
during
the
the
years that
time
you've traveled,
skip.
yeah. I would say, yeah, you could assume that they can power lightsabers and everything.
So I'm wondering if I could just sort of study/experiment the crushed kyber crystal that I have to see if maybe I could use it possibly as some sort of explosive or some sort of weapon.
Reconstitute it.
Roll me a technology check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Even if you fail this does not mean that it's not possible. It's just that you cannot come up with a way as of right now.
That's perfectly fine. Spoingo, 11.
11. You gather because lightsaber crystals are a massive form of energy that, yes, you could probably, with the right technology, turn this into something. Whether it is a one-off use with the force that's remaining inside the crystal to use like a simple force ability, or to distribute the energy into something like a massive bomb, you don't know. But you do theorize that, yes, this could be possible.
Okay. Then I shall
You just
hold
don't
on.
know how.
Don't know how yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna go full Tony Stark whenever we get back on the ship.
Drinking problem?
A little
Talking God
column A,
into suicide?
I will say that probably the only thing you guys would have left in time would be if you wanted to discuss the robots.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
But at this point, the sun is pretty much setting.
We could just have an above game conversation about it.
I thought I'm prudent to do it in character.
Oh, it's up to you. It's saying for time.
I mean, it's up to you all. I mean, I think it would make more sense if you did it in character,
We could say
because
that
it is a rather big decision.
We could just say that everybody's eating dinner while Bridge rolls up with his notes.
Okay.
All right, you're all sitting around the dinner table.
Bridge just rolls up with a data pad, kind of just sticking out, looking at it. So I have some thoughts and theories.
About?
Well, we get a choice of one of the three droids back there. And Tony and I have been sort of taking stock of what they're capable of and how much of them are actually there.
They're kind of cool.
Okay.
So we got basically half of a protocol droid. It's effectively half of, because this thing, I mean, it's missing a leg, it's got half a pelvis, faceplate's off. But besides that, it's all there. You know, besides all the missing parts. So that's certainly an option if we just want someone doing menial things around the ship. Not sure what else it can do other than just general protocol stuff with the sensors.
I've read, and I don't think we should use it for this purpose, but I've read they can torture. It's a real thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Now, Raikon, why would I want to deprive you of one of your favorite pastimes?
I don't torture.
Sure. Anyways,
I'm a
You got that
slow
probe?
killer. I don't torture, I kill slowly.
he pulled up the pad to start, and then you said that, and he just looks over the pad, then pulls the pad back up again. Probe droid could be useful. We can get it hooked up to the ship. We could be able to see through it and send it out to check things out. Only problem is, it's got a tracking unit in it. So the moment we power that thing up incorrectly, someone's gonna know wherever we are.
Then don't do it incorrectly.
Now, you see, you say that, but there's always the chance of it being incorrectly. Like a roll of a dice.
Well, above
Camera.
game, remember, rules as written say you can just take a lot of time and forego the die roll.
Feasibly. Now, above game, Broden, would we be able to basically patch into it and, like, look through a screen on the ship and send it out to look at stuff?
Oh yeah,
Or would it have to come back and dump its information for us to see?
wireless transmission.
Yep.
Okay.
You could also
That is-
sync it to a data pad or a wrist pad if you wanted.
Okay. About how big is the probe droid? I don't think I had scale back in the movie.
About 1U.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so imagine
Not
if we
very
tipped
big.
you on your side, really.
Yeah.
No. No cow tipping. We'd probably be able to just sort of attach it to the hull somewhere, probably get it hooked on, and then it could launch from there if we needed it to. But again, only worry about that would be the
Sorry.
transmitter. Not sure where the closest one of their ships is to be able to pick up the signal, but we'd probably be fine taking that one if we wanted to. Now the other one's kind of interesting. It's old Republic tech. It is just a shell, but it is very nice for how old it seems. Plus, I found its power source. Kind of whole gestures towards the droid core he has. So we wouldn't have to hunt down for parts for that one. We just have to get something to run it.
Okay, is there a fourth option, or...
No, there's only 3 options.
Well, let's start with your opinion then, Bridge.
I think the Old Republic one is neat, but I do feel we'd get more use out of the probe, probably. So I would not be opposed if other people wanted to get the Old Republic one, just for the sake of seeing what can be done with it. But for the nature of what we know is currently capable, Probe 1 has uses.
That being
Looks to Zim and Tindy. Thoughts?
So see what we can do with the Old Republic or the Rogue One has more uses, you said?
upfront use.
Yeah, the probe could
Okay.
just effectively, as long as we don't activate the transmitter, it could just be hooked to the ship and we could send it out to look at, to do scouting if we want to. The Old
That
Republic
would
one,
be advantageous.
the Old Republic one seems very sturdy considering it's in good condition from being from the Old Republic. But besides the shell, we'd have to get something to put inside of it to make it go.
The Old Republic one is also a Class 4 droid, so it is a fighter.
Mm.
I probably would lean toward more towards the probe droid.
I think the probe droid would be more useful. A Tolarian bird in the hand.
Raikon offers a dissenting opinion. We can get a probe droid, and a non-imperial one at that. We're never gonna get this opportunity again.
It is also a good point.
And if Bridge dies, we have to put him somewhere.
Yeah, if Bridge does what?
Bridge, Star Weird.
Very well. You've convinced me.
Yeah, I guess Old Republic one does work.
Yeah, because we can save up and buy a probe droid. We can't buy this.
And if
Old
we
Republic
don't want it, we
is
could
different.
sell it.
Yeah, that's what we said about... Oh, never mind.
Roll me an intelligence check. Do you think how much a Old Republic droid like that would get?
Can I
Okay.
have advantage considering I literally have a finance savvy feature?
Yep.
6.
Okay.
I did not click advantage, so let me try again.
That's fine. Just roll another.
16.
16. An Old Republic droid. Good condition-ish. Class 4 fighter, which is a bit rare. Right hands, that's at least 50,000 credits.
Oh, we could buy 2 bridges.
The only downside is that because it doesn't have the original memory or anything like that, it'd probably be probably a little bit lower than that.
It's not meant in box.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say 50,000. I'm not gonna tell him the last bit. That hurts my point.
That's fair.
One moment, I'm getting a phone call.
That's fine. He checked his comms.
He says 50,000 and you just hear a clanking noise as if my jaw hit the floor.
Boom. All right. Does Cindy or Zim have a opinion on the 50,000?
I think the droid is worth more as a eventually operating replica from a time long past than any financial gain. We didn't come together to make money. We did, but this was not the goal.
Hey, money is always useful.
Money is
We have money.
is always useful. How much money was it?
50,000.
50,000. My God, we could upgrade that ship to the next tier.
At least get the droid operational first.
Oh, I plan to. You hear cracking as if he has knuckles. What did you break? Don't know.
Do me a favor.
Hmm.
Put on your sheet, if that's the one you're choosing, we're gonna start a clock on that for you to finish. You are at 0 out of 5.
Okay.
That's
So
not
every
bad.
time you roll a technology check and you beat the DC, you will get a tick on that clock.
Okay.
All right. So you kind of.
Because I was taking the phone call. What was the decision?
It seems that you have all decided to go with the Old Republic.
Okay. I just want to know what I missed.
Yep. With that, you kind of signal to them to come over, and Tony roughly translates that you would take the Old Republic droid, and they go fetch it for you. With that, this day is over, and I believe tomorrow is mainly just Zim and then Tindy's. And then I think you guys have gotten everything you wanted, except the lightsaber parts. Rykon, you can do that tomorrow as well.
Yay.
All right.
Do we want to take our break? Because we have been going for about 2 hours.
That's fine. We'll be right back. We're getting to the end of. All right, it is the next day. 3 things are left. Zim, do we want to start with yours?
Sure.
If no one else minds.
Yeah. All right. Zim, as you were kind of early morning looking out into the distance, you see a very familiar ship land a little bit out in between a canyon.
I'll make my way over to the canyon.
All right. As you make your way down there, you see sitting on the side of his ship, just kind of taking his time drinking something, is Cad Bane. Kind of looks up towards you. Ah, good to see you, kid.
Good seeing you too, boss.
And here I thought I was gonna have to collect a corpse.
And all honesty, even with your skills, might prove a bit of difficulty in that temple.
Shoots you in the face, dead.
Now I'm curious. What'd y'all find down there?
Well, the natives here took some of the stuff before we got a chance, but I did find information, a book about the Mandalorian Wars. Figured that could be used to bypass more Jedi tricks.
Yeah, them Mandalorians had a good way of fighting them Jedi. I used some of their tricks myself.
Found a ghost.
Killed a ghost.
Indeed, we did fight and kill it. We did fight and re-kill a ghost.
A ghost.
It was a very weakened and star weird.
I've heard of them, but I never ran into one myself. Of course, most people who have never lived to tell the tale. I'm impressed you were able to take it down.
Well, we certainly had numbers on our side.
Well, I'm glad to see you made it away. Nice armor, by the way. Very protective, it looks like.
Above game, that's why we polish our armor.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta impress the boss. Here is your invitation. Hands you a small little, looks kind of like a remote with a little red flash to it. This will make sure that any of the pirates, such as the Zygerians or the Hutts, don't immediately attack your ship when you enter their territory. This will also give you access to Jabba's palace. I do not recommend having any of your Jedi Force associates enter that place.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
The
Got it, so-
ornament.
So above game, Bridge and I go to the party while the two kids stay outside.
Yep.
The tournament's being held on Tatooine. It is a rather interesting time. It's going side by side with the Boonta Eve Classic. If you know what that is, it's a massive pod racing event. Much gambling, much racing, much death. It's a favorite of theirs.
Good thing our droid has very good piloting skills.
He's allowed to enter if he wants, but they don't accept just droids. They need a side pilot. They find if droids enter, it could be cheating, considering they're programmed to be better than most regular pilots. That being said, the tournament is being hosted a little bit further out. It's sort of a preliminary free-for-all hosted by Jabba and Boba. Boba's team kind of handles the... what's the word? Details and bodyguarding. If it's an event where anyone can come. Bounty hunting's not allowed. Now, if you're there for the tournament, for the sport, for the gambling. You're not allowed to kill a target, even if he may have the highest fucking bounty you've ever seen. So I'd recommend staying away from that.
I imagine a tournament of these six must have some great prize at the end of it.
Oh boy, you have no idea. There's a couple prizes. I'll let you in on a few that I've been able to catch wind of. Apparently, a pair of rocket boots are up for grabs. Pretty nice. Allows you to slow fall in areas as well as jump great distances. I knew a Caldorian woman who used one to knee people in the face. Let me tell you, hurts like
Oh,
hell.
Gosh. That's gonna make some jokes.
There is also a personal blaster modified by Boba himself, a jetpack, and personally one that I would not ever want to get hit by. Specialized darts made by Boba's personal, well, plants, we'll say. I don't know many men who are able to live after getting hit by one of them.
All
The
right.
poison is rather potent. By the way, if you're interested, swing on by. You could win some fabulous prizes, and to help you win and or just do well and not die in your journey, I'll teach you a small trick real quick.
All right.
As he's going to line up two targets that he brought with him. He goes, "This is what I'm famous for. Now don't you be teaching this to no one either. Alright?"
Zim
And
watches closely.
almost faster than you can blink, he draws his rifle and fires it, and it just takes out the head of one of the targets. I'm rather well known for my quick draw. Fastest hands in the galaxy. Now you give it a shot. Roll me a dexterity check at advantage. 17. Pretty damn good. It takes you a couple tries, but you're eventually able to figure out the kind of technique he's using to kind of draw super fast. Mark down on your sheet a new ability in features and traits called Quick Draw. At the start of combat, before anyone gets to go, you can fire off a single round to a target.
Feel free to DM me then, because I need to copy paste it.
Jeff,
That's fine.
you had that in Tomb of Annihilation.
Not to say, that sounds very familiar.
Yep. Welcome back.
Awesome.
All right. You kind of spend the day practicing the technique with him. Let me just message this to you. There you go. This should allow you to get the jump on most competitors. The good news is that if you do good in this tournament, then most likely, well, the Huts will probably have more work for you, and the Zygerians will know not bad payers either. I typically side with them more than anyone else.
It would be good to have a loyal customer.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, take this. He hands you a small device. This is a bounty hunting list. Essentially, and I will get a list together for next session. These are people that have been located on different planets that you can hunt down and get money for.
Hmm.
Perfect. Perfect. I can actually do my job.
Mm-hmm. Now that you seem to be more attuned to your abilities, I figured it's time you finally get into the business. I uploaded a particular first target for you, if you like. A man who's currently staying on a luxury yacht. If I may make a suggestion, make sure you kill him without being found. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to get out.
Got it.
Unless, of course, you're someone with my reputation, in which case I could walk in, kill him cold blood, just right there in cold blood, walk out like nothing happened. Ain't no one gonna stop me.
Sounds good.
All right.
Ain't nothing gonna
Keep
break
yourself
it.
alive, kid. He's gonna hop back in his ship. Kinda start levitating as he starts to take off. There you go.
All right.
You met with your mentor. We're gonna go with Rykon next, because that one's gonna take a lot less time.
Hey,
Rykon, you are kind of led to the giant Ziggurat temple. You and Tindy, because kind of on the way.
yep.
They kind of defer you to one of the side people, one of the other tribesmen, who kind of leads you from the 3rd floor down another floor. As you are suddenly taken to this.
Where am I coming in from? Top or bottom?
The stairs at the top.
Okay.
You see before you this massive, like, training ground for lightsabers. A spot seemed to be cleared where they may use it themselves. They kind of lead you over to the side room, where there just seems to be gathered from them an abundance of lightsaber parts. As we'll say Dolly's there too to translate, and she kind of says to you, "All right, so what kind you looking for? Something more particular to a form, or I don't think they'll have anything towards your fancy what was it, Sith-like form? No, Jedi Temple."
Roden, I have an above game request of what I'm basically looking for this.
Mhm.
I want to turn my regular saber staff into a martial saber staff.
Okay, martial saber staff.
It goes from 2d4 to 2d6. I think it's in the thing because there are martial lightsabers.
So 2d6 instead of 2d4.
Let me double check, but I believe so.
So I thought I already did a d6.
No, I do 2d4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
let
would
me-
say that with actual lightsaber parts, we could up the damage dice. I'd allow that.
Let me just make
D6.
sure.
I think a martial does a d10, and I'm not allowing that.
Well, no, the regular one-handed martial lightsaber does 1d10. I'm checking right now. I might have to get back to you on that one. I can't seem to find it because I know other version of Rykon had it.
All right. I would allow, though, for right now, we'll say that if you wanted, you could upgrade the one d4 to a d6.
2d4 to 2d6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what the parts I'm looking for is, because...
All right. They kind of take a look at what you kind of made yourself. Because obviously you would have customized it to still be more your style.
Yep.
They kind of take a look at the blades at the end of it and kind of nod at you. They kind of walk off and come back in a minute with what seems to be parts with a giant 2 on it. You can kind of get an idea that these are probably lightsaber parts that are more suited for like Form 2.
Oh, it's like a curved handle?
Yeah, kind of. In a way, like, because the lightsaber, because it's a double, can't curve really well. Because then it gets kind of weird to handle. But, you know, I can post a picture of what it looks like. As you kind of put it together.
Say, I can also show you what a curved lightsaber staff looks like. We've seen one. It's weird.
I would say they probably wouldn't have the parts for that.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
probably not. They've only ever shown one, and it's funky looking.
Yeah. Here it is.
Oh, neat.
And then that's with the one, and then there's that.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
The parts are old, but they are proper.
Well, I say I do like the actual blades on the emitters.
Oh yeah, I will say that you could use those and they act like a dagger.
Well, because Raikon has one, he'd definitely love another.
Yep.
Also, since
kind of...
since Tindy is with me, I do want to tell them something.
All right.
Yes.
So, your new little apprentice is, let's just say, better equipped for training. Pick him out
Raises
something
an
nice.
eyebrow.
Pick him out something nice.
I'm going to need you to be more transparent.
In droid binary, because I am keeping that cave from everybody if possible.
Hmm.
That cave is a kyber mine.
Tindy, their mouth drops open for just a moment, and their hand goes into their robes just to confirm that their saber is still there.
Yeah, I took yours apart when you weren't looking.
No, it's just that, like, I still have mine. I don't need to get another one. And, like, all of these calculations take, like, a heartbeat. And you can read it on their face, because this was the last thing they expected to hear. And they make a mental note of the fact that there are kyber crystals on this planet. Good to know.
I believe we keep that between you, I, and him.
They nod. And it's like, yes, there's absolutely no reason to tell anyone else who has no need to fill a saber.
And anyone we might train, we might want to take here when they are ready.
Agreed.
Hey guys, look,
Fetching
I made
the
a
crystal
kyber
is
crystal bomb.
part of the point. We can't just hand it to them.
I agree. Kyber crystals are really rare.
She speaks droid binary?
Oh,
Damn it.
I'm gonna post you her list right now. I kid you not, because of her class. Holy shit. Let's see. That is her proficiency in languages.
Damn it, Tindy, if only you spoke hot! Second most common language in the galaxy.
I don't speak Hutes.
Yeah. So Huttese is the second most common language. That's that's why I took it. But it won't matter. You're not leaving this planet, are you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to go study other temples.
Don't tell people about the kyber mine, or just don't do it.
Right.
Don't.
Okay. So now that I have you two here, I do want help with something.
What did you have in mind?
Fine.
Well, as you probably know, in my studies, I go around and I grab a lot of Jedi and Sith stuff, and I touch a lot of things with the Force and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she kind of looks over to like one of the rocks on the ground. She just lifts a hand and it flies to her hand. I have an issue.
Oh.
And I'm not joking, this is part of her class. She just gets this.
She can summon rocks?
Tindy, their eyebrows go up in surprise. How long have you known you can do this?
About 2 days now.
And before that, nothing?
Nothing. I can do other stuff too.
Can you safely show us?
Sure. She'll walk out to this area where these benches are.
Mm-hmm.
And let me pull up her sheet. She will use Force Propel. As you see this bench just propel 60 feet over, flying through the air.
Interesting.
Not gonna lie, feeling a little tired after that one.
And you want to know how to do all this without hurting yourself or others?
I just want to know how much you know if people can track us down, because I never used to be able to do that, and I mean, I'm already holding a bunch of illegal shit. Like, if you don't know...
So I kind of like to
sooner-
explain how to hide it without cutting yourself off.
Yeah.
I have no reason to
Cindy
keep
would-
that a secret.
Yeah. Tindy would say the sooner you can master your powers, the sooner you can cloak them from unwelcome eyes.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of a miracle that this place hasn't been found yet.
It's out of their reach. They don't need to be here.
Nothing's out of the Empire's reach. I mean, they still sent a probe droid here.
It's an uninhabited world as far as they're aware, with no natural resources to exploit. They're not going to care about this place. It naturally bathes itself in the light. Many planets do. They'd have to burn half the galaxy if they wanted that gone.
Alright. Looks over to you, Tindy. Just be careful at the Nexus.
Yeah, don't become a god.
They smirk and say, I wouldn't know what to do if I became one.
That's why you don't want to.
Could you start by destroying the Empire?
See, immediately you become a god, they're asking you for prayers.
One bridge at a time.
Let's be honest. Would anyone be upset?
They would.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's too much power for any one person. Just look what it's done to the Emperor.
I guess.
Politician.
I mean, that's all politicians.
Ew.
Imagine if he had the Force. Looks hard at camera.
Everyone looks hard at the camera.
Yeah. Say, none of you know, but I mean, all outside the game, we know.
My professional recommendation for you is to stay here until you know what you're doing.
Okay, just make sure you don't make enough big waves to alert them.
You do
Most
the
people
same.
who notice us and act negatively don't notice us for long.
Okay.
You know, can I roll like whatever you think would be fair to explain how to cloak it but not cut it off?
Roll a intelligence check, and she will do the same to kind of try to understand.
Counter offer, can I help Tindy do it? Because they know too, and they're probably more intelligent.
That's fine. Didn't you roll an intelligence with advantage?
Casey, don't fail me now.
Dude. No shit, that's a
Same modifier.
Same modifier, we'll take it. 14.
Alright.
10. It somewhat gets through. It's hard. It's a hard thing to explain to a person. She just kind of
Is there a body of water nearby, like even a puddle or something?
not in the temple.
Or is that
Okay.
water bottle?
Okay, so there's not
They
like
explain
a
that
convenient
there.
fountain or a bird fountain or something. Okay.
No, they do explain that there's water at the top where the eye is.
Mm-hmm.
And Dolly would just have to tag along for that, but that would leave Rycon without a translator.
No, I was just thinking of like trying to use a flat surface of water as a metaphor for staying in touch with the force without leaving ripples in it. That's all.
I would say with the advantage and everything, you've done everything you can at the moment to try to
Yeah,
explain
that's fine.
it to
That's
them.
fine. It's all good.
All right. Rycon, you can explore the rest of the temple if you'd like, or you could try to ask for more lightsaber parts if you're trying to get some for Tony.
That's what Tindy's here for. I don't think Tony's gonna want a staff.
Tindy, do you ask for more lightsaber parts?
I do. I start asking about. I try to suggest to Tony if there's something of personal significance to him, like an old techno screwdriver or like a cylindrical flask that his dad used to own, like something of a personal nature or of like some kind of cultural significance to him in the assorted saber parts, explaining that if you wish to build a lightsaber, it's going to reflect you. Everyone's choice of constructing their saber is unique. It should reflect you so that you can tune with it, use it as it is meant to be used in the hands of the person that made it. Is there anything here that speaks to you?
First, I need you to roll me a persuasion check to ask for more parts, because they offered you lightsaber parts
Fair.
to build a lightsaber.
Yes.
This will be an advantage because they do understand that him having a crystal, or at least the one guy that was there to see it, realizes, yeah, it's a big deal.
Can I help him?
I would say
Never mind.
Ooh, that's an 18.
18. They kind of nod, and they'll get him some more parts. He kind of looks at you though, and he goes, I don't really have anything of significance I can think of. How about I'm gonna stay here with the parts, and I'll kind of sort through them, and Rycon, I'll take your advice for this. I'm gonna feel through this. All right, take my time with each part and just see what I come up with.
It's as good a place to start as any. Good luck. The force will be
Thanks.
with you.
And with you, am I doing this right?
Just grab what your hand pulls you to. Don't look, is my advice. What you think would be right probably is. And if you think too hard, you're probably wrong.
All right. And Tony will go into a room, kind of sit down, kind of just work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rycon, do you stay here with Tony or?
Yeah, I'll give him a hand.
All right. You and Tony kind of are going to spend the rest of the time here then, as Tindy, they kind of gesture you to kind of join them towards the top of the temple.
I follow at a respectful distance.
All right. You kind of get to the top. You see from the top, like the very top of the temple, the ziggurat, there seems to be a bridge that leads to the higher peaks of the mountain you're on. It takes you a little while to kind of circle the mountain and get up to the top. But in about an hour time, you do arrive, and you see before you this. As the closer you get to the top as well, you can feel the force just emanating, almost overwhelming. Most of it light, but a bit of dark as well.
Humbling.
You can put yourself at the bottom of the map if you like, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this on the map layer. All right. Standing behind you is the Sani tribesman and the tribe leader.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gestures you towards the natural water. You see a small stone path leading up to a larger rock that looks like you meditate at.
Okay.
I am back. Sorry.
You're good.
What did I
Does
miss?
anything happen as they cross the water?
Nothing seems out of the ordinary. It's just that the more you get towards the center, the more you kind of feel the force. It's very clear that there's a reason why people would pilgrimage here in the past.
Mm-hmm. Cindy reaches the centermost rock. They sit and close their eyes and give themselves over to the will of the force.
All right. As you start to meditate, you start to feel weightless. You feel like you're almost floating while also being surrounded by water. As this feeling of water starts to creep up your body, and suddenly you almost feel yourself being submerged by it, but you can breathe just fine. Where you could hear the wind blowing, and what little life on this planet where there was suddenly stop. Everything starts to just go quiet. In about 10 minutes, as you're kind of still in this deep meditation, you start hearing what seems to be a familiar hum around you. As you feel as though you're on a floor now. Solid and secured.
Mm-hmm.
Do you open your eyes?
Mm-hmm.
As you open your eyes, no longer are you at this oasis on the mountaintop. You're now kind of sitting in what seems to be a very familiar old room. You recognize this as the Padawan rooms in the old temples back on Pantora.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Jedi temple there?
With their backstory, yes.
Neat.
Yep.
Old there.
See where the as you kind of look around the room, everything is exactly where it was before you had to leave, before the Clone Wars. You can hear outside the familiar sounds of the marshlands. As you kind of look around the room, you stumble towards the mirror. As you look at yourself, you see yourself maybe 19 or 20 years younger, looking back at you.
Mm-hmm.
You suddenly hear a knock on your door. So you hear a very familiar voice kind of call out to you. The voice of your master, Son Dulik. Tindy, are you there?
I am.
Good. Am I good to enter?
It takes me a minute to, trust that this is benign and, they say, yes, you can come in.
All right. Entering into the room is your master, fully dressed in a master's attire for the temple. Huh. Good to see you're up and awake. Now, as for today's training, I wanted to see how far you have come with sensing emotions. We also have a guest speaker who, an old friend of mine, has decided to come to planet recently to talk to you. He's from the main order in Coruscant, but don't worry, he's not like the others.
Tindy narrows their eyes and says, you know how I feel about surprises, Master. Who is it?
In time. Patience is a virtue. Come with me.
Tindy gets up.
We're gonna
and,
cut real
checks to
quick.
Make sure they have their
because-
saber.
You do. We're gonna cut real quick because of that. Real quick.
Mhm.
Rykon, you and Tony are currently kind of sitting, and he's kind of feeling out the lightsaber parts. He's doing what you're telling him. He's closing his eyes. But as you're both sitting there, I need you to roll me a charisma, and he's gonna roll a wisdom.
How about I use my inspiration on that?
All right.
19.
19.
Better.
Tony kind of looks a little strange, like he moves a little bit as if something was uncomfortable to him, or maybe something was distracting him. You get a surge of force. As you probably estimate that, oh, she probably just went into a meditation up there.
Well, they are going to be there for quite a while, Tony, so take your time.
Something happened?
Something. Whether that is good or bad is for them to tell us when they are comfortable. That bridge blew up the planet.
Can you do that?
Probably. Do you not know how easy that is?
You know, I'm really hoping not that easy.
Oh, dear boy. All planets have a certain amount of energy holding them together. If I put any amount more than what is holding the planet together into a planet, pop.
I don't like that you know that.
Neither does Rykon. Damn
Alright.
you in space, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Bridge. You have gotten your robot body. It has now currently been brought to the ship. If you would like to, you can roll a technology check to start working on it, if that is what you would like to do.
Sure. Technology. Blammo.
20! That is a success. Mark down a success on the clock.
1 of
1 of 5. As you're starting to feel out the mechanics of it and figure out, alright, this part goes here. Wow, this is advanced for its age, but it's pretty good. As
No, okay.
as you have fully restored one of the legs of the machine.
Just puts a little oil can in there. There we go. No more squeaking. I was driving me
Yep.
crazy.
Zim,
Yes.
you at this point are just kind of palling around with your master, who has not yet left at this moment.
Oh.
He is going to do a quick thing here, as he wants to see how much stronger you have gotten. As he asks you to take up a opposite end and do a shootout.
Okay.
All right, boy. You better be ready for this. I want to see if you really are as good as I'm hoping you are. And for this, we are just going to use, we'll put you on the landing bay. So put yourself like right over here.
Rodin. Yeah. Rodin, the stream's still looking at.
So,
I know, I
okay.
realized. Hang on. There we go. Put yourself over here. Alright. And we are going to use the symbol of something I had in here that I'm not sure why. This. Alright. As you both immediately quick draw, I need you to roll me an attack. 12.
12.
As he nearly sidesteps it, I need you to add a plus 10 to this. 28.
Yeah. Yeah,
And he's going
I'd say
to-
that hits.
And he's going to use a superiority dice, as he is going to do a disarming shot. I need you to roll me a DC 16 strength check to hold on to your weapon.
So just straight strength.
Yep. Or strength saving throw. Either way, you are able to keep onto your weapon, as he is going to pocket out a second pistol and fire it again at you. Again, add 10. 25.
Still hits.
This one's going to do damage, as he's going to add 8 to this.
12.
It is energy damage, so it's halved.
Correct, so 6.
He goes, all right, come on, boy, you got this.
So I imagine that's basically my cue to shoot again.
Yep.
Alright. 23.
23, that's going to hit him. 3 energy damage. Oh, you hit, but barely. As he is going to once again try to sidestep it, but you nick him in the shoulder. He is going to once again try to disarm you if he can shoot. 25.
Yep.
I need another strength saving throw.
9.
9. As your gun flies out of your hand, he is going to kick his boots to activate them with a bonus action. And he's going to follow up with an attack. Right up to you. He goes for a flying knee. So, adds 7 to this. 12. As
That
you
one does not hit. Just so
as
that's
you
clear.
see it coming and you duck out of the way. And he goes, all right. Well done.
And
Yeah,
just,
most
and,
people I would have either killed or knocked out by this point.
just add a little bit of flavor to it. After he ducks out of the way, he grabs his blaster pistol to take aim.
Fire. 12. Man. As he just, again, the momentum kind of carries him past where you fire, aiming where he was rather than where he's going to be. Alright. You may need to work on your aim, kid, but ain't bad. So how you plan to take out the man on the yacht?
Well,
If you
I'm
go
sure,
after him first.
I'm sure one of my compatriots can act as a good distraction. Even the droid can act as a good servant.
Not a bad way to go. You could always try to do a number of things. Knife in the back, poison in the drink. Don't matter how it's done as long as there's a body. Which, you don't also need to... You don't need no, body to bring back for it. We'll know if he's dead.
Understood.
All right. And I know that Tindy had to leave for something. So...
I think we could just call it.
Yeah, I think we can call it here. We'll get back to that next time. Thank you all for watching. I know this was a rather slow episode compared to last one. But I mean, hey, they have downtime sometimes.
Yeah, they're not all action movies.
Yep. So thank you for watching. Make sure to check out Tindy and their
Stuff.
series was talking. Well, it was
Well, I know their Doctor Who podcast is called Anywhere But Now. If you enjoy Doctor Who, go check them out there.
Anywhere But Now, and I believe they do another podcast. I'm sorry that I'm blanking on it at the moment, but
The Art of GMing.
that's it. The Art of GMing. Thank you.
Where I swear to God, I'm gonna get on there one day.
One day. Check out our other channel, or not our other channel, our other series, the Far and Wide campaign, where we have a lot of fun on that one, and we're trying to do a lot of political stuff in that.
And I love it!
We just killed a stitched man, so go check out what that is.
Yeah.
And the absurdity that is our characters. So thank you for watching. May the Force be with you, and make sure to choose your role carefully.